Let's start the news. 8,000 teachers, they have been recruited and posted to senior high schools across Ghana, and it's part of government's free senior high school initiative and its implementation. That is according to the Deputy Minister of Education, Dr. Yao Osei-Duchum. He tells JoyNews some of these teachers are currently undergoing reposting to schools where their services are most needed. This comes as both the gold and green tracks go to school for the first time together to prepare for their final examinations.
As part of the double track, the President authorized that we hire 8,800 more teachers. Out of that, approximately 8,000 have now been deployed to the various schools. And initially there were schools that did not enroll the number of students that they needed in terms of various subject areas. So initially a school may have requested for 5 science teachers, and then they will come back and say we rather need 8 because we've gotten more science students. There are schools that will say we rather that you take away the visual arts teacher that we're going to post to us because we don't need visual arts teacher. The number of students in visual arts have gone down considerably. So at this point, as I speak with you, our various regional directorates of education are doing some reposting of some of the new teachers that were posted to various schools. But other than that, many schools have gotten the teachers that they need. The few who don't have them, they are working on it right now to make sure that they get the full complement of teachers that they need.
Now, there'll be further discussion on this when the PRO of the Ghana Education Service, Cassandra Chum Ampofo, joins us on the show in a bit. 3 assembly members in the Krowo Municipal Assembly, who double as executives of the opposition NDC in the area, are currently in the grips of the Nungwa police over alleged destruction of billboards within the municipality last year. The 3, Alfred Ni Ahinsalai, Oko Odiko and Lawrence Bokwe, were picked up by the police on Tuesday afternoon and held overnight, a situation which triggered agitations by some residents. National organizer of the NDC, Joshua Kamba, believes the detention of the 3 is connected to today's vote to confirm or reject the MCE nominee for the area. Ernest Menu was at the police station last night and reports this.
At the Nungwa police station, we're picking up information that 3 assemblymen have been arrested, and that is why scores of people have gathered here at the Nungwa police station demanding the release of these 3 assemblymen. We understand that they are also members of the NDC. We'll be speaking to the executives as well as the police to get the very latest. But what we know for now is that tomorrow there's an election, which is the 3rd and final one, for the confirmation of the MCE nominee for the new Krowo Municipal Assembly, which was carved out of the Lejokuku Krowo Municipal Assembly. And so the suspicion is that these 3 assemblymen are opposed to the nomination, therefore have been, as it were, arrested so that they could secure the 2/3 that they need tomorrow at the elections. Let me speak to the former MC for the Lejokuku Krowo Municipal Assembly. He will give us some more updates.
Well, I had a call from one of the assembly members who have been arrested, mother, because he is not well. So I had a call just about 9:45 this evening that the son has been arrested since 2 o'clock and all effort to get him bail approved future. So I decided to join them to find out what exactly the issue. I came here and we had a brief meeting with the police officers here, in fact the district commander, and he explained to us that yes, there has been a complaint, and in fact the complaint was made somewhere last year September.
Do we know exactly what the issue is?
Destruction of a billboard, a destruction of a billboard that were placed somewhere around the Nungwa police station area. It is sad that all these 3 people are behind bars. The assembly is not composed of only NDC assembly members. So even if the assembly took a decision to act on ABCD, why are they not arresting all the assembly members?
Well, the national organizer of the NDC, Joshua Kamba, has been speaking to us. He says his sources tell him that this is some order from above. Again, he is encouraging the supporters to go home as they will do all they can to resolve the issue.
I mean, it's the MPP at its best. MPP, they are doing what they know how to do. This is an order from above. I won't be surprised if it's coming from the president.
Well, Mr. Kamba, you said this is order from above. Is that what the police is telling you?
That's the information I'm picking. I mean, I'm picking the information. I mean, you also come around, we also work based on intelligence. It cannot happen in any democratic country where members of assembly that were elected by their community, people to lead them, will be arrested and detained under the frivolous excuse that they went to remove a signboard. They went and they did it not with them alone. No. They did it with members, I'm told members of MPP who are also members of the assembly, who have been left off the hook. And then our members have been put. That is a word to the NDC people for us to reunite ourselves, regather our forces, and fight this one so they should go and sleep.
In other news, families of 7 persons shot dead by the police at Manson Kwanta in the Ashanti region, they are to receive a total of some 1.75 million Ghana cedis as compensation. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo announced on Tuesday at the launch of the Zongo for Peace and Development initiative in the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi, that each family will receive some 250,000 Ghana cedis. The compensation follows a report by a fact-finding committee into the July 17, 2018 fatal shooting of the 7 persons at Manson Kwanta within the Amansia West district. The fact-finding committee also found that there are no facts to establish the deceased persons were indeed armed robbers who engaged in the exchange of fire with the police at the time.
I cannot come to Kumasi and not revisit the unfinished business of the death of 7 of our compatriots at the hands of some police personnel last year. As promised, we set up a committee to look into the matter. Based on the recommendations of the committee, I asked the Inspector General of Police to interdict the police personnel involved. Processes have been initiated that will result in the prosecution of any police person who is allegedly found to have acted outside the law. I'm happy, though, also to announce to you that a compensation package totaling 1,750,000 Ghana cedis, that is 250,000 Ghana cedis for each of the 7 families, is to be paid to the dependents of the deceased. Even though money cannot replace the life of a human being, it is being offered as a way of accepting the responsibility of the state in this tragic affair. In the circumstances, I appeal to you to continue to exercise restraint as this sad, unfortunate matter is addressed within the confines of the law and due process.
Already, we know that since the incident, some 21 police officers have been interdicted with a recommendation from the fact-finding committee to prosecute them. President Akufo-Addo urged residents in Manson Kwanta to disregard attempts by politicians to make political capital out of the tragedy.
Responsible people are exploiting the inevitable gap between the occurrence of the event and its final resolution to instigate residents of Asawase to resort to violence. I urge you to continue to ignore these agents provocateurs and continue to hold the peace as you have done so admirably up to now. I assure you that justice will be served. I am determined on it.
Now, the Forestry Commission says personnel of the Youth in Afforestation program will from this month have their allowances paid promptly. It follows last month's protests at the Commission's offices by personnel over delayed allowances covering 8 months. Chief Executive Kwadwo Uswefriye says the Commission will from this month not default in payments. Ohiming has been picking up these details.
Over 65,000 beneficiaries out of initial 15,000 were employed nationwide last year for the Youth in Afforestation model of the Youth Employment Agency. Following the protests over delayed allowances, the Forestry Commission has paid 2-month allowances in December alone. Mr. Uswefriye has been engaging with beneficiaries on a working visit to the Ashanti region. He was at Bumfom and Enumsu Forest Reserve, as well as Ofin Herdwick plantation sites at Kumewu and Mampong Forestry districts. Mr. Uswefriye tells Joy News the 8 months arrears claimed by the personnel is incorrect.
We have heard people talk about the fact that we are owing them 6 months arrears. Entirely, it is not so. Not all of them began the job at the same time. Some began in April, others in May. Here, especially and elsewhere, it was June, July that we employed them. So, and if you employ somebody in, say, July, August, September, October, November, and December, you certainly cannot owe the person 8 months or 6 months, as they say. So it is true that some of them, there are some areas to be paid, but I'm happy that the Minister of Finance gave us some 2 months, arrears to clear some of the outstanding, allowances that we ought to pay, and so we've managed to pay up to September. In August, in January, the minister has assured me to give me some more support to pay. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to clear October and November, allowances. So, in effect, we will have only December and January to pay. And then we are on and on. The minister assured me that in 2019, we do not want to see the kind of demonstrations that we have had. And so they will find the money to pay these young people who, in spite of all the challenges and difficulties, they are still working. And so I'm happy, and I thank the Minister for Finance for such assurances. And I'm also grateful to the Chief of Staff, Chief Frema, for taking active interest in ensuring that these monies that are owed these people are paid.
The Forestry Commission has since the middle of 2018 planted 24,000 hectares or 60,000 acres of land. 3 species planted include teak, Cinderella, Oframo, Emre and Mahogany. About 10,200 hectares were planted under the Youth in Afforestation program alone. Mr. Uswefriye is happy about the progress made so far.
The Forestry Commission employed over 65,000 young men and women to be employed in these areas. And I think that is also part of the government's vision of putting money in people's pockets and people putting food on our tables. And these young, if you could see from their faces, the enthusiasm with which they welcome. And in spite of the fact that we are still, not paid some of them, they believe that when government owes you, a government cannot run away. A government will pay. And therefore, it is for that reason that they are working. So the government's approach to giving employment to young people of this country is also being achieved, through this program.
From Kumasi, for Joy News, Ohiming reports.
Well, that's where we'll draw the curtain on today's news headlines.
Yes, definitely. We have to do a review of the newspapers. We'll look at myjoyonline.com, and we'll be right back with Mama Vio Swabwaje with all these. Stay with us.